You got to look at both, and getting rid of a pain in the neck bank lender is worth it. I mean, I will readily pay 8 and 9% to a private lender instead of 6 or 7% to an institution.
But how about the fact that
Absolutely.
borrower who you made a promise to as the original subject to buyer, now I'm gonna buy the note. They didn't make a guarantee that I'd make the payments, right?
Right.
Is there a legal thing or is that more of a morality thing you would say?
That is a moral thing, because when I buy sub two, I make it very clear, I'm not promising I'm going to make your payments. But at the same time, I'm proving to you, hey, based on the amount of money I gave you for your equity, both down and in payments, and based on the amount of money I've put in to continue to maintain and run these properties as rentals, it would be financially irresponsible of me to not make the payment.
Right.
It would be just, why don't I just go pile the money up in the bank, hit it in the driveway, hit it with the lighter fluid and flick a match on it and go. Poof.
Can you legally transfer a power of attorney that you did in the first situation to the new loan buyer?
Yeah.
No, a power of attorney cannot be transferred or assigned. So, but go back to what Nathan talked about. You want to buy that deal in the secondary market,
Yeah.
go ahead and fund it with enough money when you buy it to get rid of the institutional debt. Then the seller's gone. Their debt's gone, the deed's been out of their name, they're gone. You don't
Right.
need a power of attorney anymore for them. You don't
Right.
need anything out of them anymore. They're gone, they're out.
Yeah, that's the only way that I would want to do that. I
And
don't
it's
want
a
to be
smart way,
attached.
Nathan. It really
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be attached, and it's too messy. People.
Yeah, and we got a lot of feeds back, some questions, all that stuff. I put in the chat too, you can, we have a little form you can fill out, and if you're looking to get a hold of Jeff and learn more about the stuff, he does have classes. He's not bringing it up, not that we asked him to, but he wants to focus on giving content today, which Jeff has always done. I've run into situations that Jeff bailed me out of because I didn't know, and that happens to everybody out there, and that's why Jeff's around.
And Dave, I don't even remember what it was. I mean, whatever it was, it was. I'm glad I helped you.
2015 or 16, and it was literally sitting in Note Expo, I think it was. And I came just for that fact. I want to learn about us. It was self-directed IRA stuff, and didn't know a partner could be disqualified participant, and he fixed it for me. So guys, we all walk around thinking we know everything, and we believe we learned everything, but sometimes you haven't. And we realize that as investors that there's always something we learn and we grow. So we encourage you guys not to only do this for a legal sense, which we've talked about today, but morality sense of, listen, can you sleep tonight knowing what you're doing, right? And if you can't sleep, or if you're a person who just does this normally, it's gonna come back to haunt you. It happens, I promise you. So I appreciate those people in the feed who are answering questions while we're just negotiating that. I appreciate that. And always learning is a key thing. And you don't want to value your time. We're disconnected 3 minutes. So I'm going to ask you one question, and Nathan always going to ask the last question. So are you be speaking anywhere soon? Or I know we have the link inside once you fill out the form, you're going to get all your information. Are you be speaking anywhere soon that people can be coming to or see you?
I'm trying to think. We finally hit the summertime. My brain is a little numb because I just got done with a 40-day stretch of pretty much constant travel, where I couldn't even remember some days what day of the week it was, or what city I was in, or what I was supposed to talk about that day. So I've wrapped that up. I don't have anything on the horizon right now. I know where I'm going to be next. I know the next events I'm going to be at as an attendee learning is going to be an acquisitions class in Tampa, Florida, being taught by Pete Fortunato.
Cool.
If
I'm
no
gonna
one
be
knows
there
who
for
Pete is,
that.
please look him up.
Pardon me?
If no one knows who Pete is or John Hire is, please look them both up.
You better look them up. I mean,
Yeah.
both those guys are good friends of mine. They're brilliant men, brilliant men. If you're curious about what I'm teaching, I'm doing a lot more stuff virtually and online. So go ahead and register for my email newsletter, and I will be emailing you and sending you, hey, when I'm going to do a free to attend Zoom on whatever, like I did one last night on using trusts, a primer on using trusts in subject to and creative finance deals. I walk through what does a trust look like? How does it operate? How do you set it up? What do you do with it? And so on. I walked through all that last night for about an hour and just, go for that. And I do that maybe once a month, stuff
We have
like
about
that.
a minute left before you have lunch with your daughter, my man. So I'm gonna let Nathan ask the last question and we'll wrap up with live and we'll just cover a few minutes with you. Go ahead, Nathan. What's your?
So, well, first I'll suggest that a little bit further out in the horizon, we missed out on having you at DME this year, but we'd love to have you next year.
For those who don't know, real
Send me an
quick,
invite.
make sure you check out
Absolutely.
DME. It's a note investing conference for note originators and buyers. Happening next week. It's in the comment thread. I'll put it back up there. In Nashville next week. If you
Next
can
week,
join it,
be
great.
Where in Nashville? Where in Nashville?
It's the Hilton by the airport.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nashville's a great place. I really like
Yeah.
the city of Nashville. I really do. Yeah.
Yeah, we're very much
right.
looking forward to it.
All right, Nathan, you got a question?
Yeah. So where do you see, with everything that you're seeing and included in that with your visits to DC and everything, what do you see coming up on the horizon? Where's the economy going? Where's the housing market going? What's your crystal ball?
I'm going to give you some stuff that probably no one else will say.
Okay.
We have a war being waged against private capital.
Mhm.
And it's very hard for small mom and pop institutions to compete in this market. It's making it hard on community banks and regional banks. That's one of the things going on. The Fed is still fixated on unemployment and doesn't feel like they've got unemployment high enough yet to where they can back off on raising rates. So I expect to see rates go up. I expect to see more and more consumers get literally tapped out to where they can't handle it. So keep an eye on credit card delinquencies, keep an eye on auto repossessions. When those start to move up higher, then we know we're really going to go into a bad problem. I would tell people keep some powder dry because there's going to be some great deals. In fact, I'm working on a great deal right now because the market's freezing. We've got a bunch of investors standing around like deer in the headlights. And now is one of those times. This is one of those key times to buy, is when no one else knows what to do. Act decisively. If it's a great deal, if it underwrites well, grab it. Okay. I think we're going to see a very interesting situation. We're still dealing with what happened 3 years ago when the federal government began jamming trillions of dollars out of thin air into the economy. We're
Agreed.
still dealing with the ramifications of that when it relates to the labor force, supply chains, inflation, housing costs, stock market, the whole bit. I mean, everything got distorted by the trillions of dollars that got shoved in there.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out how that's going to sort itself out. The Fed has no clue what it's doing, in my humble opinion. But that's just my humble opinion because they're using a bad system based upon faulty demographics. I would tell you that we're going into a very interesting period of time where we're now going to find out who really is an investor and who was just a tag along enjoying the falling interest rate rising market. Were you a buy and breather or were you an investor? And the area that's going to get hammered the hardest, the fastest is going to be the wholesaling industry. Is just, it's going to its knees right now. Residential apartments, they're freezing up. There's some great deals out there. I'm going after one right now, but there's a lot of people who are scared to death and don't know what they're doing. And that Wall Street Journal article earlier this week was not a kind article. Okay. Just perpetuating fear.
Yeah.
The next thing out there is if you've got good deals with good people on your seller finance stuff, be prepared to work with them on modifications if they get in trouble. Stay in touch with them. Make sure that they know that they can reach out to you because it's going to be relationships that are going to get us through this bumpy spot.
Old houses too, because it's going to trickle down eventually.
Even
with the great underwriting we've been doing for 10, 12 years now, it's still people are going to default.
Yeah.
And people are not going to default because we made bad loans. People are going to default because the economy pulled the rug out from underneath their feet. Because Congress spent way too much money in the last 3 years And that includes that includes not one, but two different presidents in that time frame, by the way, folks. So don't think I'm being a bad on one guy, okay? This debt ceiling issue is going to be an interesting thing to watch. I think that's going to give us a big clue as to who really is going to control things going forward. I pray that Speaker McCarthy stands firm. He's got the House majority behind him that's going to not back down. He's got some moderate Democrats that are going to come with him on this stuff. The question is, will reality sink in the administration and the people like Pelosi and Schumer? That's where we've got to see. Will reality sink into their heads that we cannot continue to spend like drunken sailors?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, Jeff, we're gonna let go of the live feed right now. We'll wrap up with you for 30 seconds and let you go do your lunch. We appreciate you having you on our live feed here.
It's my pleasure. I've enjoyed this conversation and time flew, man. Time flew.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.